That felt like a longer 5 seconds than normal, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with the Marvel Anime X-Men Episode 4 Transformation.
You did that way better than I did in the previous episode.
I was very intense. I was like reading with my eyes. You know, you can do that. You do like the bouncing ball with your eyes. Yeah. I'm Rod, and this is technically my second time watching it, but functionally my first because I don't remember any of this. I remember the boob windows, so there's that.
Well, at least that had a good impression on you.
Right.
No.
I had to. It was like 90% of the screen.
And I am JC, and I just wanted to show this on camera. This game has come in from the team over at WizKids, the same people who make Hero Clicks. This is not sponsored, but I have not played it yet. It is called Rock, Paper, Heroes. And from what I understand, it is a very complicated version of Rock, Paper, Scissors, meant for 3 to 6 players, and takes about 30 minutes to play.
Oh, wow.
I can't imagine what version of Rock, Paper, Scissors is going to take that long. Like, there are pieces and cards and multiple characters and stuff, and I think I should debut this on, like, a live stream when we're drinking and raising money for charity. That's my thought.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, one of the Extra Life things.
Yeah, do it on an Extra Life stream on, like, Tabletop Weekend.
Is that like an Asian game or something? I just say that because, like, did you watch the second season of Squid Games?
Nope.
Or Squid Game, not games. They do, I think, what do they call it? Rock, paper, scissors plus 1 or something?
Okay.
Essentially...
No, I mean, WizKids, as far as I know, is a U.S. company, so...
Okay. Well, because like in the show, they have this... they play rock, paper, scissors, but plus 1. So, like, you do the rock, paper, scissors.
That's how many cards there are.
Oh, wow. So in the show, they had rock, paper, scissors, and then when you hit plus 1, you have an opportunity to change your thing.
Okay.
Both people do it at the same time, and so it complicates things, and it's still 2 out of 3 and all that stuff, and then you get shot if you lose. But, like, so I was like, I wonder if there's, like, this Eastern culture of complicating rock, paper, scissors or something.
I mean, it didn't say gun included or not included with purchase, so not sure. But yeah, well, if I'll do what I did with the Marvel Cosmic Invasion of if I do it on a stream, I'll just put it on the YouTube channel too. Yeah. So Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our podcast series. We are going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode that we are able to find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men, the animated series, which built up to the release of season 1 of X-Men 97, which we also watched. Along the way, we completed X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and we started our companion interview show, the Xavier Files. Season 2 of X-Men 97 is scheduled for this summer, so I'm assuming one of the J months, hopefully.
January.
Yeah, January. We're going to be diving into the Marvel anime X-Men for our very first time. My very first time, not Rod's.
Pretty much my first time. Some quick reminders. We're a recap show about a series that started over 15 years ago. Has it really been 15 years?
Dude, 2011 release dates.
Jesus. All right. There will be spoilers. If you don't want to spoil it for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, whether that's on DVD or wherever else you can find it, and come back. We're currently not sponsored by or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and TikTok. I will say, if you want to actually get interaction with us, Instagram is the best one because I pay attention to the notifications on that one. I deleted Blue Sky because the only conversation that was happening on Blue Sky was Punker Ducky talking shit about Cyclops there.
I forgot about Blue Sky.
So did everyone else.
Okay. It's weird because Threads actually did pop off, like, people kind of, well, not like how people thought, but like as predicted, but also it's just become like a rage bait farm.
It's a rage content farm, 100%. Well,
and I know why it is because of the way they monetized it. Like, for anybody that isn't creating at a level where you're monetizing, sometime I want to say, what, Threads is 3 years old, maybe? So maybe
sure, let's go with that. Yeah.
Or if it's 2 years old, 1 year ago. So about like a year in or whatever, they started monetizing. But how they would do it is like based on interaction. And all social media is like that. But this is literally the only things you can give metrics to is like extra comments, right? And stuff.
Yeah.
And so people start figuring out that if you just put something inflammatory, something that would force someone to reply, then you get more money. So sometimes it's not even like inflammatory as in like offensive or whatever. It's just like a wrong statement just to get people to say something, you know. It's like that. It's like that meme of like if the picture is like Picard and it says use the force Harry or something. Like putting some text version of that up just so people will be like, wait, no, it's not, you know, and then you get money for that. So it just turned the whole platform into that, or it's just saying something vague. I've seen a bunch of posts where it's like, no, not yet, and people are like, what?
Or I can't believe he did that, and everybody assumes who he is and proceeds to fight, even though they don't know the context of it.
Yeah. So
I might just do one of those tonight to see if I could just have like 1,000 notifications by the time I wake up.
Actually, man, if I can find the clip, I'll send it to you because it'd be a good one to put on something like Threads, because I saw a comment that made me laugh. There's a video on TikTok that I came across where someone, I hope the situation doesn't seem like it was funny, but the comment was funny. I guess it looked like maybe this person was getting arrested or something, but they were in their garage, and I don't know if the garage door had like caught their car or something, but their car was elevating and flipping over towards the outside from the inside, and it gave no context. It was like somebody was panicking because this was happening, so they recorded it, put it on TikTok, so it was a record of it. And the first comment, like I said, the situation is probably not funny, but the comment was funny. It said like, who's you getting arrested by, Magneto?
I was waiting to see how you were going to take it home, and you nailed it.
Yeah. I was like, all credit to whoever commented that, because I was like, all right.
That's anyway. Great. Not for that person, but that's great.
Yeah. Anyway, now onto the show. Today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 4, titled Transformation. It aired on April 22nd, 2011, and in Japan under the title Secondary Mutation, which that makes sense, considering what happens in this episode. I don't know why. Like, some localization must have thought that might have been too confusing for U.S. audiences, but that makes more sense than Transformation.
Again, I'm going to throw it out there. If anybody who worked on this show listens to it and can give us any of these answers, hit us up. I am going to check against your IMDb to make sure you're not full of shit. But if you did work on one of these shows, like, let us know. I'd love to chat about it, because this is the only show of any of them that we have zero organic connection to any member of the staff on any of these shows. So
I kind of wonder if, because I know now there's a lot of localized dubbing that happens in Burbank, kind of near us. I wonder if back then it was still the same way, and if like maybe those VOs are still around, you know, like, see this, it'd be interesting. So it's not far-fetched. Someone in our circles might come across this.
For a second, I thought you said someone's inner circle, and I was really confused for half of a second.
Anyway, this episode was aired on November 11th, 2011. In the U.S. Sorry, I had a bunch of processing going on there. It's like, 11/11. That's kind of cool. 11/11. Yeah. So
that's
you just saw that happen. You just saw it happen in real time.
That's an angel number, right? That's what that shit gets called.
Yeah. I just know, like, when 11/11 appears on your phone, it's supposed to be good luck or something, or in your clock. I said phone. God. Okay, I'm becoming one of the kids.
Your phone is your clock.
Yeah, on your clock, it's supposed to be good luck. So like 3/11s. Actually, I totally forgot about this. Yeah, I had a friend's band, the Caulfields. I think they did a show back when I lived in Delaware and Philly on 11/11/11 because of. They had a hit song called 11/11, so made sense.
So you actually know where you were exactly on the date that this episode originally aired in the United States.
That's kind of funny.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to look up what venue it was at, because it could either be Philly or somewhere in Delaware, just because of how close they are. But
hopefully not Philly.
I mean, there's a good chance it was in Philly. It might have been World Cafe.
Okay.
Anyway,
Rod's favorite city, Philadelphia.
I don't fuck with Philly, man. Like, Philly, if you survive Philly, you go hard, you know? Like, if you want to fuck around and find out, go to Philly. Remember that robot that was supposed to travel around the world to show like humankind?
It got destroyed in Philly.
In Philly, yeah. So
it was supposed to get across the entire United States, and it made it from the water to Philadelphia.
I'm gonna try to put this in like the most polite but also kind of on brand way possible. I hope the Friends of Humanity visit Philly in real life, because that's the FAFO,
that's
and there's a reason that hasn't happened yet.
That is a light illusion that I fully back you on. So.
Also, Philly, if you're hearing this, you know what to do.
To be clear, we respect you and we're terrified of you.
Yeah, no, I lived there for 10 years, or around their area for 10 years, so, I know, there's a reason Jill Biden, dove in front of Joe, multiple times. It's like, because Dr. Biden's a Philly girl, you don't fuck with them. Anyway, this episode currently sits at a 6.6 star rating on IMDb. Yeah, so this one we were saying last episode, it is literally just not even a part 2, really. It's just like this could have been the same episode as before. The thing that changes, that moves on, is they move out of that room. So this not only it picks up from where Emma was taking the hit from Kick, and then we see the sparkle.
But it changed. Like that again, like
the dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah, the dialogue changed. Also, I don't know why I didn't pick up on it in the previous one, and maybe it just wasn't shown. But as there's like a little bit of rustling in the alley, Beast's ears actually perk up like a cat. Like it's like literally like they like go like up like radar. I was like, I didn't pick it up in the first episode. I didn't go back and recheck that again, but I thought that one like stood out like really, really funny. I was just like, wow, they are leaning into like the kitty aesthetic on him right now.
That's so funny. Yeah, so Emma takes the hit. You see the sparkle a little bit, and then they point out, she backs off. She's like, what is happening? I was like, I did not realize I saw this. This is part of the reason I didn't remember any of this, because you told me when we started this podcast a few years ago that the secondary mutations and diamond form and stuff, and I didn't really ever put it together. And apparently I saw this a decade before.
And it just didn't click with you on it.
Yeah. And then I was more surprised that Kick was still alive and also intact for the most part. I thought he was like liquefied.
He was disconnected from like the larger mech, but he still had like functional-ish legs with like some weapons built into him. Emma's like confused and yelling, and he starts shooting it, and then Beast decides now is the appropriate time to be like, wait, so this has never manifested before? As she's literally taking shots right now. Oh yeah,
because again. And when Kick shoots the thing, originally I started typing out he shoots missiles because they look like missiles, but then they end up becoming like laser tentacles or something.
Yes. Like, I literally put laser tentacles with an exclamation point, because there are times when I've seen animation of like missiles and stuff like that where they show like the light beams that follow them, and then like especially Evangelion, where you see like these like rays and then an explosion happens after, and it's just like an aesthetic choice. These were actually just like 30 laser tentacles flying out of his body at the same time.
It was also the velocity that they were like rising and falling at. It just had that missile,
trajectory.
Yeah.
And then there's a cop who's like, we need backup.
Yeah. Was it Storm that said like the X-Men are here?
Yeah.
Somebody said the X-Men are here.
It was Storm.
Which was kind of funny because, like, to your point again, like, that almost felt like an afterthought because, like, they know, right? Like, they were just saving the kids. So, like, I was like a weird little, like, Netflix standard, right? Not Netflix, but, like that thing we're talking about being on the phone, like.
But it may have just been, like, the writing team is, like, we don't do well with silence in the United States. And I say that as like an entire culture where people really, really like to fill pauses with dialogue. They don't like stuff being long and quiet. That's why, what was it? Inglourious Bastards. The start of that movie is considered like one of the most uncomfortable scenes in a movie because it's like long, awkward, silent pauses, no music in the background and everything like that. I think to some extent it may just be like, we have an American audience, you need something to be said here kind of scenario.
Yeah, fill the space.
Yep.
For all the theatrics of it, though, Hisako armors up and kind of quickly defeats Kick. Cyclops blasts him, and then Logan, finishes him.
It's a cool alley-oop because he lands on top of the bus. She does like, it's almost like her armoring up and doing like almost like a spin move kind of thing. Hits him in the air. Cyclops shoots him in the air, and then the impression is that Wolverine like cuts him in half at the waist, like basically does what he did to him originally all over again.
Yeah, because it kind of goes to black or something. He doesn't slash him, and then when it lands, his POV. You kind of see like the flickering from his like cyborg eye or something. And then it flips the perspective around, and he's still alive, but like only for like that last second, because then you see like the light turn off. So it implies he died.
Yes,
but I don't know. Like we never know. We didn't see. They never concretely said that. We just saw the light turn off.
I imagine the original Japanese version is like, well, he's fucking dead, you know?
It's one of the cops in the background, like, he died.
Then you hear a gun go off 3 times.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like, fuck this, and just double taps him.
Yeah.
It's like the scene from Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. It's like, no, I'm not going to be a bigger person here.
No,
but then that's Beast points out that there are instances of secondary mutations.
Because he has goggles. He has special goggles.
Oh, yeah. That seems so intrusive, right? Because he's reading, like, the heat image of Emma. And she's like, ooh, hang on just a second. Like,
yeah. He has, like, full biometrics. And I don't know what the significance of it was, but she was rated at 54% mutancy. And there's something about that term mutancy that feels weird. Like, I don't know why. Like, I've not heard it in other versions of the X-Men, but mutancy, they really like saying it in this show.
I didn't catch that, but it kind of reminds me of, like, a couple weeks ago, I rewatched that movie Lucy. Do you remember that one with Scarlett Johansson? It came before Bradley Cooper's Limitless. But it was basically the same thing.
Remember. I don't think I ever saw that one, actually.
So it was directed by Luc Besson, who did like Fifth Element and stuff. And it was basically about Scarlett Johansson was this woman that kind of accidentally got caught up in like a drug ring. But so they use her as a mule, and the drug like breaks in her stomach because someone kicks her, and it unlocks, like, you know, they say in the Morgan Freeman, of course, is in it, and he's the professor. He's like, we only use 10% of our brains,
which is a lie.
This drug, this is a very 2000s or 2010s movie. This drug like starts unlocking percentages of her brain, and every 10 minutes you see the screen flashes 20%, 30%.
Oh,
and
okay.
then she gains like telepathic powers like 11 from Stranger Things and stuff. Like there's one scene where she's like escaping the hospital, and all these FBI agents and stuff are surrounding her. She just like looks at them, all the neck snap, you know.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this movie. Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me of like the mutancy thing. I wonder if it's like that. It's like, is it the percentage that makes you Omega level or something?
Like the power scaling or something like that. Okay.
So, I don't know. Or is it just a graphic from a localization team?
Yeah. But then Beast points out like, oh yeah, this sometimes happens, and it could be like done because of like extreme stress, or then there's like a pseudo illusion that it had to do with whatever the U-Men were doing to Emma too. So
yeah, they kind of left that open. Well, because they just saw that like all the kid that turned into a monster and all that stuff. And then we finally see the reunion of Hisako back to her parents.
Yes.
It's as touching as you think it would be. And then also another very Asian thing is the parents to thank the heroes are like, let us cook for you.
Also, there's another little girl for some reason.
I thought I just forgot about her. So She wasn't before. Okay.
Nope. That was not Goldfish Rod moments.
Okay.
Like that was she was just there.
So now I kind of wonder once again if anybody watched the original show. Was this the best friend in the original show? Was she there before and something else, like a sister or something? Because like you said, like random, and the dialogue there could have been anything. But they specifically are like, oh yeah, she has a best friend. Is she a mutant? No, she's just a good girl. Never come back to it.
Yep.
But I think they had to address it because that girl's in the following scenes.
Yes.
For a while.
But then Logan doesn't believe it because they're like, oh yeah, she's just a good friend. She treats her like a person. And Logan's like, yeah, give her time. She'll learn how to hate us.
I think. I do like the scene where the two girls are helping make dinner. And one of them says, add more milk. He's like a big cat.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, they specifically pointed that. Not the boob windows, but the cat.
A kid's not going to care about the boob windows. A giant cat, they're going to care.
Hisako did. It was a big, comfy pillow. I mean, it's a good place to find comforting, right?
God damn it, Rod. This is why, aside from me saying fuck all the time, that I mark our podcast as adult content on iTunes.
But also what we watch.
Yeah.
If we're telling them to go watch the show and like go watch it, like it's just what happens.
It's true. Yeah. We're not making shit up. There's just a giant boob window in the show.
And then Cyclops specifically accuses Emma of doing the telepathic block in the area. Mm-hmm. And once again, that's another thing that just like it kind of makes you wonder like how much it was the original dialogue, because like I kind of thought, unless it really is the character of Scott is like not letting this go, he just still doesn't trust Emma. But for me watching it felt like we had moved on from that several times by this point. But she makes a good point. She's like, I don't have that much power to do like northern Japan. Like it's not like
I could stop a room. I can't take out a part of a country with my powers. Yeah.
And your point, like Storm and everybody else is like, no, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Beast also is like, hey, Emma, we should go back to New York because I want to do tests on you because this is weird that you had the secondary mutation. And the thing with her is like her secondary mutation seemingly has nothing to do with her primary mutation either. Like it's not like an elevated version of it. It's like telepath diamond form. See, how do those two things interact?
My theory is like the root of her powers is mostly in like being hot and seductive. Right? So it's like she can manipulate your mind and become a diamond. Like it's been that way from the beginning. Even the original Pride of the X-Men, pilot or whatever, she was an outfit that made no sense for the battlefield.
I mean, that's her character, the entirety of her character.
Yeah,
even Marvel Rivals is my favorite because everybody is like, you have Wolverine jumping across like maps and trying to claw you to death, and she's just in like hot girl gear. There's no other way. Like legs out, bodies on display, and she's just like, fuck you, I'm gonna take you down.
So I feel like even when I was a kid, like just like telepathic powers is how I would describe her to my parents. But my understanding would be like, oh, she's like super hot. That's her power.
With the exception of the show that Rod and I were talking about in between takes called The Beauty, that is not a power of just being super hot.
Anyway, so Emma does agree to go back. She's like, it's probably a good idea because we don't know because she was in cryo for they don't know how long. And in a testing facility that they just walked into like an organ harvest lab. So she's like, it's probably a good idea to get a physical, right? And Beast has like a very specific set of medical equipment at Xavier's Institute for mutants and stuff. And then Hisako says she wants to go too. She asks her parents' permission. And this makes I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring this up because like even though the parents were reluctant, they still let her go because the X-Men said they would take care of her and stuff. And I think Emma even said like there's no place safer. But they didn't acknowledge that like weren't her parents like friends with Xavier?
Yes.
Because like so like I'm kind of surprised that just didn't come up. Like well she will be with Charles.
Yeah, it's like Charles. Like the fact that the guy called Charles, like they you're right, they glossed over that.
It's a small detail, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just kind of interesting that it didn't get brought up in all the stuff they talked about in the middle of all that.
No, and Scott is still, like, pissy.
Yeah, it still doesn't trust her. I think that's the thing that we're trying to come back to, is like, he still doesn't trust Emma. It's just the dialogue that comes out of it seems kind of weird, but maybe that's just how he's supposed to be, you know, in this. And that there, at some point in this conversation, Wolverine calls Cyclops Slim again. Yep. I know that's not new to most X-Men fans. It's new to me, and this is the only, besides the X-Men Evolution, is the only time that he actually looks like the nickname Slim that I've seen. Because I'm just used to barrel-chested Cyclops. You're
used to the Jim Lee design. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're in the Blackbird going back to presumably New York. And
I love the conversation of, she's like a kid going on, like, yeah, she gets to go to the biggest city on the planet and is like, can we go to a Broadway show?
Yeah.
Like that's the cultural signifier for New York, is the Broadway show.
It really is. It's kind of funny because I've been rewatching the show Smash. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It starred Megan Hilty and Catherine McPhee. And it was basically... I know the
second name.
Yeah, it's basically about the making of a Broadway show, but a super soap opera version. Oh, Deborah Messing also stars in it.
Okay.
But it was a 2012 or 2013 show. Very 2010s coded. Like, like Leslie Odom Jr.'s in it. He's one of the main characters.
Okay.
And the one note joke for him is that he's the straightest gay guy, because he is actually gay in the show. But the joke that keeps coming back is he likes sports. How could he be gay? Literally, like 8 episodes, that's the reoccurring joke.
It's the only joke, yeah.
Because like he was like, oh yeah, the Knicks. And they're like, oh right, you're the straightest gay guy. I was like, how? This is the punchline for every single episode with this poor guy. And I'm also, the last episode I just watched, is a strange Me Too moment that was like, ooh, this is not gonna age well. Where Jennifer Hudson like forgives this guy who harassed like 6 women on their behalf. I was like, ooh. Oh, Jennifer Hudson's in it too.
Well, on the plus side, nobody remembers that show right now, so it's never going to resurface. So,
yeah. Well, that's a long story. It's a one of those things they try to make into a real musical and stuff. I think the musical theater world knows about the show because it's very. It's kind of. It was in that era of like Glee and everything. You know, something I've really like realized over the last few years is that adult millennials, like the 2010s and stuff, really hyperfixated on like music theater, like Glee and you know, Pitch Perfect and Smash, and like so it was that whole era. Oh, actually, a little bit of trivia that's totally unrelated to all of this, but why not? Because we're here.
You're literally talking about Smash, and that's already a tangent from a little girl wanting to see Broadway. So
Mark Shaman composed half of the soundtrack for the score for Smash. Okay. He's the Broadway legend that wrote the Hawkeye song that you love. And then the other half of the composers were...
I don't have a problem with the Hawkeye song. I have a problem with the whole fucking musical.
Yeah. And Mark Shaman did that. So that dude also did this show's music, but then the other half of the music was done by Pasek and Paul, who is most famously known for Greatest Showman and La La Land. So this was like an early version of them.
Got it.
And stuff. Anyway, so back to the show. So this section with the Blackbird begins to enter the territory where I actually, you know, I like most things. I think I genuinely actually had a problem with this like kind of section here. So
okay, why? Genuinely curious.
So the Blackbird is taking off, then something chases it.
Yep. There's a thing on the radar, and then you see like the goop monster.
Yeah, it suctions to the windshield, starts breaking it. We get Beast's famous line of stars and garters. But then, so Wolverine...
Which, sorry, quick pause. For those of you who don't know, when we were originally coming up with names for the show, one of the ones I pitched to Rob was, Oh My Stars and Garters, and he had no idea what that reference was. Reason being, that line was never in the original X-Men animated series, and it was only later that Rod would find out more about the importance of that line. So the fact that you picked up on that and I just like brushed it off in the scene is the greatest irony to me.
Oh, that's funny. So, yeah. No, I think it's because like it'd become an Easter egg in the other shows we watched.
Yeah.
Like they would throw it, and this one is kind of random because I don't know, it's not random. Like it's not like it's out of character. It's just like He could have said anything, and I guess they made sure he said like that.
Well, it's his shorter version of saying "oh shit," or his longer version of saying "oh shit." That's all.
Yeah.
No.
And so then this is the part that was weird. Is like then Wolverine jumps out of the Blackbird to go fight a monster. That's not weird. Then from that point for the next like 4 or 5 minutes, I can't tell what's happening, and I don't know if it's just the version I saw, but it's very hard to see what is happening.
The version I watched, which was not a DVD version, but it might have been a DVD rip, so it probably was hard. It was very hard to follow the animation of what was going on with it. I will say, the color actually threw me off on this, because if you were paying attention, like when they're outside the jet, you see this character, and then when he's inside the jet, the colors are more of like a green. On the outside, though, he was very black and purple. Yeah. So for a second, I thought this was Gorgeous George from the not the Marauders, the Nasty Boys.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was.
Especially because he was so like lengthy and like inky and stuff like that. So
and it didn't help that the Blackbird was also like dark and probably black too, like or purple or whatever, and so like I was like I think it was CinemaSins is a channel like that made fun of the original Venom movie, the first Tom Hardy Venom movie, where they were like, oh yeah, the final fight between the Venom and the other villain was like watching two trash bags fight by candlelight. And I was like, that's what this felt like.
Yeah. The only shot of it that stood out to me, which reminded me of an Evangelion shot, was when Wolverine is literally enveloped inside this guy as like a ball, and then he like slices his way out, which is something that is like it's not a trope, but it's something I've seen like at least like once or twice as like a meaningful shot. So
I recognize that, but it took me a little bit because the initial like him being balled up, I didn't know that's what happened, and then when he shredded out of him, like, oh, okay, that's what happened.
Like, you're spot on. It was like how it got there was like gross and messy, and then it was clear when he finally cut his way out of it. So I'm fully on the same page with you.
So I don't know if it was one of those things where like that's how it originally was presented, or maybe it wasn't as confusing looking like on like a lower resolution television, so because we're watching, regardless if you're watching a rip or my DVD and stuff, the DVDs are what, 480p or something. So and I'm watching on a 4K television now, so does that make it worse? Or I don't know, or was it just animated confusing like that? So my next note here was like, I can't tell what's happening here, and then it just skips to him defeating the monster and bringing him in and revealing it's a kid.
Well, the other part that before the defeat happens is they're flying. This thing has now turned into like a harpy, like very much like the winged arms and like the like weird like shaped legs and stuff like that. And Wolverine was like holding on, and then something happens where I thought he killed the kid, because they land on top of the Blackbird. He's holding the kid's body. He's like, sorry, I had to do it. I thought he killed him. I thought that's what the end of the fight was. Also, Wolverine somehow able to stand on top of a moving jet. I don't know.
I just kind of took this as like, I don't know, superhero stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, he's inside, and that's where they show the kid who's like green with red eyes at that point. And I was like, that's not the design of what he was fighting outside.
Yeah, and like I couldn't also tell because he's missing an arm, and it was unclear if like that was the result of the fight. Or
when Wolverine says that I had to do it, I'm assuming that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah,
maybe like that was the wound or whatever. But yeah, then they arrive back at the mansion. Xavier,
real quick. He did say when the kid was fighting him, he felt like the kid was holding back though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's how he knew it was a kid, I guess. Back at the mansion, Xavier welcomes him. I didn't even think about this till just now. Xavier is doing the welcome like a normal, like, oh, welcome to the mansion and stuff. There's a dying child inside of the the ship, and everybody's just like, oh yeah,
casually getting off the plane.
Yeah. So they run the Beast runs tests on the boy first, and Beast's pretty calm about it, and he's like, we're gonna do Emma next, but it's gonna take a while for him, so why don't you all just get some rest, and then like I'll let you know when I'm ready for Emma. But before they even like get a chance to finish that sentence, the boy starts like convulsing, and like Beast grabs his arm and he gets like hot.
Yes.
And then he petrifies, and I didn't know if there was a significance in that. It kind of reminded me of how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did the Inhumans with the crystal
where they would like
dust
burn out. Yeah.
Yeah, like except this kid didn't. He just died. He like mummified, and it mortifies Hisako because she doesn't want that to happen to Emma. And at that point, it's unclear if Emma had the same whatever this kid had.
Right. So interestingly enough, and again, this is credited to the Marvel database fandom, they're saying in the original Japanese version of this that they basically figure out that what is happening to these people, it's something called Damon Hall syndrome, as opposed to a secondary mutation. So it's like a virus that is in them that is causing the secondary mutation to happen. And that's what leads them to like going into like overdrive and then burning out on it. Yeah. So like, cause the first kid that they thought like he went giant, like kaiju and stuff like that. This kid, like he was out of control with his powers and stuff. So I don't know if like that's going to get explored in a later episode, further detail, or that's just like where they localized it to, oh, well, the American audience knows about secondary mutations with Emma and the Joss Whedon run. Is that where they put that together? So,
you know, actually, the movie I referenced, Lucy, with Scarlett Johansson, this is more related to that than I thought, because kind of, I guess, spoiler for like a 15-year-old movie
that nobody's going to go back and watch. I think you're safe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun watch. If you're like, I'm the kind of guy that likes to watch those like 2000s action movies because they're just kind of like, is 90 minutes like a Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing. Also, I miss 90-minute action movies. Please don't make any more 3.5-hour action movies unless it needs to be. But the whole thing is like, there's a point where Scarlett Johansson's character, she's just becoming like a superhero. But then I want to say like around like 80 or 90%, weird things happen. Like she starts dusting kind of like they did in Infinity War, but not like, it's more like Dr. Manhattan where she can control her atoms and less like, you know, she's dying. But then the spoiler part at the end is like she expands into like this like technovirus tree, and then her 100% mark is that she literally like becomes like one with the universe, and so like the morphing, like it overdrives like the human potential into like becoming one with existence and stuff. This kind of seems like this, but like grosser, more physical. Like
I feel like that movie is just telling you should take drugs. Like that's what I'm getting out of that thing is drugs will unlock everything.
And also, now that I'm remembering it, the drug lords are specifically Korean in the show. So, like, it's the Korean drug lords trying to use Scarlett Johansson as a drug mule. Someone tries to sexually assault her, and when she pushes him away, he kicks her in the stomach, and it releases all the drugs into her system.
So, by overdosing on super drugs, she becomes a god. Got it. Okay, good. Yep. Good. All right. X-Men.
And the one thing that she wants to do before she goes 100% is stop, because there's like 4 or 5 other drug mules. She's like, we have to stop them because they can't become me. And I'm unclear why. Because if the result...
She doesn't want competition.
I guess, but if the result is you just become one with the universe, then it just doesn't really affect humanity.
Nope. No competition.
Anyway,
but after this kid dies, they end up in like a cafeteria that reminds me of the room from Loki for the TVA.
Oh yeah,
like
it's just a break room.
Yeah, it's a break room with like vending machines in it. Like
yeah, I love those kind of coffee machines too.
Do you?
Yeah, where it's like kind of like charming in the way like diner coffee is, you know, where you can taste the metal pot. Like this one, like as long as the cream's not like like, you know, gone sour or whatever, is kind of like it's a vibe, you know.
I mean, Xavier has been in the Institute by himself for a year, so it might be.
Yeah, good point. But I will say this. Oh no, they're not in Japan anymore. I was gonna say Japanese vending machines aren't another level, but this is New York, so this
is upstate New York. So yeah.
Okay, so no, it's probably rancid. Storm got dysentery after this. So they're in the break room, and Cyclops is still arguing with Emma. in there, and
Emma has a pretty
circles.
good argument. She's like, why would that be us? The inner circle didn't butcher mutants.
Yeah. And they disbanded, somebody said, to some point. And she has a good point where she left.
Yeah, she left. Not that they disbanded.
Oh, I thought they said somewhere in the show that the inner circle had disbanded altogether. But
if they did, I might have missed it.
And then Beast comes in and tells them that, like, through the tests, he found out they had this virus that you're talking about, and it's and then that's like Hisako, like, is extra scared. She's like, does Emma have this virus? It's like, well, she's next. So like it shows Beast running tests on Emma. In any other version of the X-Men, I would say that Emma is suspiciously calm, but in this show, I genuinely just think she is.
I think she's written exactly this way. Yeah.
she's just a hot tutor.
Although I've definitely seen versions of Emma that this attitude fits perfectly with in the comics too. So I love that we get a little bit of like a reprieve moment with Cyclops and Wolverine playing pool. And it's the like best subtle version to why he's so good at his powers is he's not just shooting optic blasts out of his eyes. He's also an expert at geometry.
I didn't even put that together.
That's why Wolverine is so mad, because he's like, there's no way you should be able to make that shot. And it's because, yes, Cyclops has to be an expert at geometry when it comes to how his beams ricochet and stuff like that.
That is such a funny detail. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
And Wolverine is so mad, and he wants to challenge him to a rematch, and he's like, cool, I'm going to throw my bike on the line. Like, that's how pissed he is about getting beat this way.
Like he did. This was the only time I think I remember in this show so far seeing like a even slight nod to like anime comedy was when Wolverine tries to blow the pool ball away from the. I was like, okay, that was the only, because there's been no humor in this up until this
point.
None
whatsoever.
Except for maybe Kitty Cat Beast. Like
I was gonna say, the kitty ears at the earlier part of this episode, like popping up, might have been the only other humor in the show.
Or the girls saying like, "Oh, he's a big cat, put more milk" or something. Yeah. But and then Xavier updates the crew and says, like, I still can't scan northern Japan. And they're like, and Emma's like, see? Yeah. I'm here. What do you think is going on? And then that's when Xavier asks Hisako, oh no. So
Beast puts her in the like under a scan and then is like, cool, you want to do an MRI next? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, and Hisako's waiting outside.
Yes.
Of the testing room, and then Xavier sees Hisako and asks him if she's ever heard about the Sasaki Academy.
Yes.
And it's like a weird, like, ominous question. She's like, no. He's like, okay, and then just moves on.
Yeah, because she's like, I don't know, maybe when I was a kid. He's like, cool, and then just leaves her. He's a horrible host. Like, he has not done anything to make this poor girl feel comfortable in this giant, creepy ass mansion.
Yeah, he's like, cool, let's just keep waiting on that cold metal door. And then Hisako, we don't know how long it is later, but I guess however long an MRI takes.
However long that it looked like it got darker out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Emma walks out, and Beast is like, that good news is, like, she does have, like, anomalies, but she's healthy, so clean bill of health is... so obviously, like, a big comfort to Hisako. She can get another one of her hugs in.
Yeah, I put happy tears, but I knew that meant that Hisako just buried her like face in Emma's boobs.
And then it kind of like, that's kind of where not much more happens. Like, they have the last scene is, and I don't know if anybody else will remember this, but like it mirrors, and I don't even think this was on purpose, but it just reminds me of the scene from the very end of A Christmas Story, when the parents are looking out the window when it's snowing, and they're like, okay, oh, this was a good Christmas, wasn't it? And that's how this movie ends. This ends with Beast and Xavier looking out the window, and I think it's snowing. And Xavier specifically says, like, yeah, things are just getting started.
Yeah, it was the mysterious vision, or mysterious virus, Cerebro not working the way we wanted to. This isn't over, we're just getting started. And it's such a, like, ominous thing. This is where I do appreciate it being different than like US writing, because we have a very distinct style of telling stories here, whereas when you start looking at like anime, especially when it's like dubbed and stuff like that, the beats of the story don't hit that same standard U.S. English 3-act structure. So it's not like it ends on a sour note. It's not like it ends on like a cliffhanger. It's just kind of like, cool, this, to your point, it feels like the first 4 episodes were one chapter, essentially. And if we're going to have 3 acts to this entire story, like, that was a good way to end the first third of this this narrative. So
yeah, it's kind of rare to see. Actually, there's another thing kind of related to one of the tangents that show Smash. The first season ends in a way that you expect. Like, the short version of the story is like, the whole thing is showing this like Broadway show getting made. In the last episode, you basically see the Broadway show. It's like, oh, that's what we're building up to. And if the show had gotten canceled there, cool, we got to see the thing we were building up to. But also, there's enough of a question. There's like, oh, I wonder how it did, you know. And they did pick up for a second season, so as soon as it opens up, they're like, oh, the reviews,
it's the reaction to it and stuff. Yeah,
and then they move on, and the arc of the second season is if they're going to win a Tony Award. And it's like, so it's that was the one thing of that show specifically that was like, maybe some parts didn't age well, but at least it didn't have these like artificial cliffhangers. You know, it's kind of like, this is like, oh, this is a nice like setup. Like, now when I step away from this for a month now, I don't feel like I have to watch the last like 5 minutes again.
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, we, like you said, we had this set up for all the weird things that happen, and now we're going to explore that for the next like 8 episodes.
We have 8 more episodes. Yeah. Kind of the way you were describing that other show, it did remind me of the end of the franchise, because that was a show that had a definitive end to it, but easily could have gone into a second season. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might go and watch it, because it is a more recent show. But it's very much like, do I wish that they got another season out of it? Yeah, it was really interesting. But was it unfulfilling, like some of the Netflix like cliffhangers? Like, I still to this day like will not forgive Netflix for what they did on Glow. The ending of the last season of Glow is a hard cliffhanger, and it's like unresolved issues and stuff like that. And then that was one of the shows that was like one of the first victims to COVID shutdown. Like, they were just like, we're not going to extend this one. Yeah. So,
I mean, I would say hopefully like another network picks it up, but usually that's Netflix, because they're
that's the problem. Is it's normally Netflix. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, the other shows like that is the OA.
Which I did not like that show. For some reason, that show didn't click with me.
Did you watch the second season?
No, I didn't get past the 3rd episode.
Okay. Of the first season?
I'm very quick. If I am not feeling something, I eject. Like I know I get shit for this from like my Star Wars friends, but I did not enjoy Andor. And somebody's like, well, it starts to pick up in episode 4. And I'm like, I'm struggling to get through episode 2 right now. I'm fucking done. So
I like to frame Andor differently. Is like, it doesn't necessarily pick up at episode 4. It's just that every 3 episodes is a different arc. It's almost their own seasons. I will say, like, I mean, I don't blame anybody for not watching any show, because like nobody's required to watch anything. But like, I'll say and you've heard me say this before, and people here have heard me say it before too. But Andor, in my opinion, is like the best writing Star Wars has ever had.
Right.
But like the OA, the first season was definitely like a skeleton budget. You could tell they're like, okay, Stranger Things was popular. What other supernatural stuff can we have? And so they kind of did everything through the storytelling, so it was very slow. Even the ending was more in the abstract than spectacular. But then the second season were like, here's your budget, since it was a successful show.
Yeah,
but the
since
second
your shit
season
popped off. Yeah,
the second season ended with I won't spoil it for anybody here. Off camera, I'll tell you how the second season ended. But it ended a way they were like, oh shit, like not only did it end in a way with like unresolved stuff, but it actively made you want to see the very next thing that happened. It's kind of like the failed Gem and the Holograms movie from 2015, like,
which I didn't see, but I know the Misfits ending, right?
I'm going to spoil it because no one should see that movie. Even like, I know people that worked on that movie, and they're like, don't watch the movie. So the whole terrible movie happens, but then the after the credits, Kesha pops in a green wig as Pizzazz, and she's like, we're the Misfits and our music's better. I was like, I want to see that movie. So that's
the problem is everyone wanted that movie and not the one that they got.
So that's basically what happened at the end of the OA. But anyway.
And I got one last trivia before we drop off. The name of the song that is playing for Wolverine during the fight with the kid, which you were probably distracted by because you hated the visuals so much on it, is essentially his theme song for the show. It's titled Feel My Claws.
Love it.
Do with that what you will, Ron.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no. I would say like if we bundled episode 3 and 4 together, I think it's a really strong episode. I think it's a cool setup for whatever is to come. I don't remember it being like this, but I don't remember anything. So from the show, well, anything in general, but also specifically the show. So yeah, I'm excited to see like what happens in the coming, because 8 episodes feels like a good like, now let's explore. This kind of is doing a little bit in a way what I wanted X-Men 97 to do. Like, no hate to Jake and crew, but like everybody heard me say here when we watched X-Men 97, it was like the first episode was so good. I wanted 1 or 2 more episodes of the X-Men having fun, just 1 or 2 more. Like they went immediately into trauma like after episode 1.
Well, it was also the worst trauma because it was your favorite character as the target of said trauma too.
Yeah,
so.
And then it just kept getting worse. But also that team was so fun. Like that opening scene was so good. I just wanted to see like a little bit more of that, like at least 1 more episode of
so let's go fuck up Friends of Humanity. Let's go play basketball together, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Let's have more awkward moments like Magneto and Morph like coffee in the morning kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this show, at least, I feel like in the darker way, like it wasn't like they were having fun, but like I felt like this cool X-Men, like the dark anime X-Men team, that first 4 episodes, like, oh, we got to see like an establishing 4 episodes or whatever, and now we're going to go fuck stuff up, like, you know.
Right. Well, because originally it also gave us the impression that there was only like a 5-person team. Like we started getting used to like teams getting bigger and bloated and stuff like that with like 9, 12 members, you know, especially in Evolution when you started adding in the New Mutants. But it's like, at most we're getting here, it's, if you count Xavier, it's 7 people. Right?
Oh, I didn't even notice. I'm a bad person to notice size of teams because as an MK fan, like a Mortal Kombat fan, like I'm just used to 99 main characters. Like
That's true.
not even exaggeration, like a literal 99 main characters in a franchise. So, but yeah, this is cool. So, thanks for joining us. If you have any other thoughts, make sure to drop them in the comments for either the YouTube videos.
That was such an insincere thank you.
Yeah.
You like forced it out. You're like, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's fine. Finish it.
Spotify upload our official Instagram post about this episode. If you like what you heard, we'd appreciate a rating on okay, this is the end of the night on the podcast app you're choosing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. Doesn't even
give a shit. She's just like,
is she? Oh, there you are.
Is she waking up now?
Yeah, here I'll bother you for this ending. She's like, oh no, what's going on?
It means you're going to get fed.
We got to get our ratings.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, Luce.
Rate the cat. Rate the cat on our iTunes.
We appreciate rating on the podcast if you're choosing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts.
0 fucks given.